Hi YouTube world, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. I am Adrienne, I live in New York City. I love playing with makeup and this is my Shop My Stash series where at the beginning of the week I picked a bunch of products to try out and I tried them out during the week to figure out what I like, what I don't like, and share my thoughts with you. I thought it's been a while since I've done a kind of chatty get ready with me format. Sorry about all the sirens, but this is the reality of living right off of the busiest street in New York City. There weren't a lot of products I tried this week, so I thought let me put on my quick face, which is basically what I did all week this week. I'm actually just starting off with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer Hydrating Primer, this one here. I'm not going out or anything, so I don't need sunscreen. Primerizer was one of those things that I really liked for a long time when it was in its other type of container. I know they repackaged it, and I also think they might have reformulated a bit. I still like it. It's pretty light in its texture, so it doesn't feel like you're layering on a ton of product. However, I don't feel like it's as hydrating as it once was. So if you're used to the serum like one in the bottle packaging, I do feel like this is a lot lighter, a lot thinner. This week I really focused on light makeup. I think I had a whole other intention last Sunday when I was filming. I was in a completely different space, and unfortunately my week just really challenged me. I ended up having to say goodbye to my sweet cat, Peanut. She was 18 years old. She had just turned 18, and just within the span of 5 days, she got very sick. So my husband and I, we were having to rush to the vet and then to the hospital and then kind of monitor her, and eventually we realized that we had to make the very difficult choice of saying goodbye to her, and we called a vet and they came to the house, and it was very respectful. It's a very difficult process to say goodbye to an animal and to make that decision, but she was terminal. She had cancer, and it was causing her lungs to fill up with fluid. So we couldn't put her through that. If you can't breathe, you can't breathe, you know? Ironically enough, it's what my father passed away from, with his lungs also filling with fluid. He had lung cancer, and so it was all too familiar. You know, it doesn't matter whether you're in the hospital for an animal or a person, the language, a lot of the anatomy is the same in terms of how diseases affect us, and it was just really difficult to go through. So we're still healing, and so I'm a little bit down, and so if you're wondering why my energy is what it is, I wanted to share that with you. Right now, I'm actually putting on the Chantecaille, what is this called? Future Skin. This is an oil-free gel foundation, and I can layer it up, and it feels like I am rubbing in to my skin just a beautiful moisturizer, hydrator. I really love this product. I had been sort of avoiding using it because I was trying to get through my other foundation products. But I feel like I've reached a point where I've tried nearly all my foundations again during this almost 20 weeks. Is it 20 weeks today? This foundation really does feel like skincare. It feels like you have dropped water on your face and you're rubbing it in, and it just creates such a nice natural finish. But again, not heavy, doesn't accentuate anything. It's really made for all skin types, I feel. If you need additional hydration, I just say go in with a heavier moisturizer. If you feel like this provides enough, you only need this. It really just depends on your skin needs, but it is such a beautiful product. I have not encountered a formula like this. The other product that I picked up, though I just started using it, I don't quite know what to do with it, but this is the Physicians formula. Airbrushing Pressed Powder. It has broad spectrum SPF 30 in the shade Translucent. It's not translucent. It does have a lot of coverage. In fact, I found it to be a little heavy, a little thick. The reason I picked this up was because, again, I'm sort of in the process of experimenting with SPF and SPFs in different forms, and I realized that I hadn't really seen a powder SPF that was a pressed powder. And when I looked it up, this one came up from Physicians Formula. And I used to really love Physicians Formula. I think down the road in summer, I'm gonna really appreciate this powder. But for right now, it's a little too heavy. I'm gonna put this on, but I'm gonna regret putting this on. This is the Moira, the Best Calendula Setting Spray 4-in-1 Prime, Prep, Set, and Refresh. This one here. The mist is aggressive, but it's fine. I don't mind an aggressive mist because it's a fine mist, but it's a lot. The scent is Calendula, which I don't mind because it's actually a very soothing ingredient in skincare. And so I do like Calendula, which is why I was happy to see this in a product. My biggest issue with this is that it is very drying. So I feel like I put this on and my skin just tightens really, really fast. And every ounce of moisture is just sucked out. It's just not a great setting spray. It just makes my skin so tight. I wonder if this isn't best for someone with very oily skin that wants to dry their skin a little bit. I have combo skin and this is just way too drying for me. My lips are feeling so dry. I am going to bring out my Catrice Glossy Lip Oil. This is in the clear shade, this one here. This has a pH changing, but very subtly, and it's just such a nice formula. I actually was initially scheduled to go to Florida on Saturday, so today's Sunday. It's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the mommies out there. So I was originally going to spend Mother's Day with my mom and have a week in Florida, staying at her home, and really looking forward to it. I've been a little burned out at work. I just really needed to disconnect, and unfortunately when all this happened with Peanut, I just knew it wasn't going to happen. So I didn't want to force it. I didn't want to leave my husband alone. Peanut was an amazing cat. I know everyone says this about their pets and everything, but she really was special. She became even more special as the years went on. My husband and I, we've been together for 22 years, and we got Peanut 18 years ago, so it's been some time now. At the time he worked from home and I worked outside of the home, and so he had a lot of time to bond with her as a kitten, and he had never had his own cat before, like seen a cat grow up. Yeah, he had the experience to raise Peanut as a kitten and kind of have all those joys and headaches and frustrations and all those wonderful experiences that you get when you see anything grow into kind of being. And I'd say the last 10 years or so is when I've gotten to really bond with her more, because I found myself working from home more and just having a lifestyle that allowed me to be at home. And so she was like, oh, you're gonna be around now, you know? And so she and I established our own little routine. But I'm gonna miss her terribly. It's been very, very sad in my household, but we're hanging in there. On my cheeks, I put on the other two shades of the Merit Flush Balm. I put on Stockholm first. That was that really pinky shade, and then the little more bronzy shade was Fox. I love these. These are minis that came out in a set of 4. I went back to my M Cosmetics So Soft bronzer in Terra. I did not use bronzer a lot this week, but on the few days that I did, this one is more cool toned, and it's just such a beautiful creamy emollient formula and blends incredibly well. but I also want to show you with my fingers. I kind of just pat it until I reach the point of like, I like that shade, and then I'll just kind of lightly pat up and blend. And it's just such a pretty color. Highly recommend this formula. Also, if you're curious about M Cosmetics, this is one of the first formulas I will point you to as a fantastic product. For my eyes, I'm just gonna do my eyebrows real fast. I'm almost done with my Good Brow Day by Profusion. I literally have this little bit left in soft black. This has ended up being a favorite micro pencil for me. I just actually finished that up. It's such a great product. I love how it makes my brows full, but doesn't make them like blocked. Will absolutely be picking this up once I go through all my eyebrow stash, but really great drugstore pencil. I'm just gonna put on my eyeshadow primer. This is the Smashbox Photo Intensify 24-hour shadow primer. I have to say, in the midst of this loss and this type of week, I have already prepared a serious eyeshadow declutter for you all. I thought I was gonna wait till the 26th week mark of this process to run an eyeshadow declutter, but truthfully, things are just so out of hand with my eyeshadow palettes. Everything's getting a little confused. I feel like it's time to unload some. So I am gonna be filming that probably tomorrow, and we'll post it, but I've already kind of, you know, made decisions, swatched things. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. I'll insert a picture of my madness and also like swatching in bundles, like what I've done, but I've taken the process very seriously. This week I tried the Mikayla Paht 2 from Glamlite, this beautiful palette here. I'll insert one look that I did. I had used this palette in the past, but only this week I used sort of these greeny shades. And although the look initially came out really pretty, as the day progressed, something happened that's never happened to me before, which is that the shadows started to migrate, but migrate in like a very kind of chunky way. And I was also really surprised that the shimmer shadows didn't stick the way I would have expected them to. So for right now, I'm going to just try this grouping here. I really love this shade, but I have this, the butterfly shade, in many different formulas. This is like a duochromatic shadow that has purpley blue shift. It's very pretty, but I have it in many different formulations that are just as nice. I just found that this was one of these palettes that it swatched much better than it performed. I'm gonna do a very simple eye look, but I feel like I can achieve this very simple eye look with many more shadows, but I hope you can see, like, it's just very sort of patchy, a little difficult to blend. I love the color story though, and I really do love Mikayla. I think she's very, very funny, is a completely unique person on the platform, and she's made mistakes very publicly, and I don't mind people making mistakes publicly, especially when they're thrown into such a whirlwind. I can only imagine the mistakes I would have made. So I don't hold any of that against her. I just don't think I get along with Glamlite formulation. Maybe it's just the way I personally apply eyeshadow, but I use really good brushes. I'm using a Wayne Goss natural brush right now. Really love these brushes. They usually kind of help shadows blend out themselves. I do love this kind of color on me though. I love this like browny burgundy kind of vibe. I am just gonna use my medium powder from MAC, the mineralized skin finish, just a little bit to just blend. Whenever I have eyeshadows that are not behaving, this is what I do. I just take a pressed non-flat powder that I really trust and work it in with a brush pretty aggressively. And I feel like that creates such a pretty diffused look. Still working with the Tower 28 mascara. I don't know what I think about this. I'm still on the fence. I think it might be getting better now as I've opened it, but I'm just not sure. I feel a little schizophrenic with this mascara. Let me finish putting on this lash and we'll talk a little bit more about it. I do like it, and like I said, I think it's becoming better with age. I have to say it really just doesn't smudge, so that's good. If I don't take my time applying it, it does become messy, but that's also user error because I'm always messy with mascara, so I'm still just not over the moon with it. Now we're going to quickly talk about lip products. There are some lip products here. Essentially, these were all duds in my book, so I'm just going to go through them quickly. This is the Catrice Hydrating Lip Gloss Lip Jam. So as I mentioned earlier on in my video, I love the Glossy Oil formula by Catrice, so I did pick up a few other products of theirs. And this one I did not like. It's very, very thick, very gloopy, very convenient, the packaging. It doesn't have any color. This is called I Like You Very Much. And although very cute and whatnot, it has a very fruity scent to it. This is that color there. It's colorless and it's so sticky. It's so sticky and I don't feel like it's particularly hydrating. So I would more strongly recommend the Glossy Oil by them. Similarly, by Moira, I have this in Champagne Kiss. This is the Hydrating Lip Oil. So I just wiped off my lips and reapplied just one dip of this product, and you can see that stringy gloopiness, and it just gets worse as you continue to talk. So I thought this was going to be a dupe to the Stila lip oil that I love so much with all the sparkles, but it really isn't. Moving on to another lip gloss. This is by Lisa Eldridge in the shade Muse. This is the Embrace gloss. I have a couple of these glosses. This has one of my least favorite doe foots ever. It is such a firm doe foot. It doesn't feel like plush at all. It feels like it's kind of just rubbing my lips. It is unscented, although I do like it upon first application. It seems to migrate out for me outside my lines real easy and kind of thin out in the center. It is just not my favorite formula, and I have had such a problem decluttering these lip glosses that I have because I just want them to work for me and they just haven't worked. And last but not least, I'm only decluttering this because I think it's past its time. I wore this one day. I'm gonna put this on so you could see. This is a beautiful color. This is Smashbox Always On Lipsticks in the shade Level Up. It's this one here. And I really love this color. I've always loved this color. This formulation is really pretty too. Super comfortable satin finish. But this one is just turned, it's starting to smell a little like Crayola crayons, and it's become very kind of thick. Just the formulation is not what it used to be. So I just think the formulation has turned. So that is it for all the makeup I tried this week. Still a lot of makeup considering I didn't have the most amount of time on my hands. I hope that you found that useful. I will tell you that this week I still am taking it off of work. I might work a couple of days. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but it's still booked as vacation, but it just might be a staycation. And I realized, and just like looking around, I'm going to insert a picture of my desk where I film. It is chaos. So I am going to spend a lot of time cleaning, decluttering, organizing myself. I just feel like it's time. I feel like I've gotten a little lost in some products that have come in. I feel like I have decided to finish skincare products that I don't even really like and avoiding some of skincare products I want to use. I just have to do kind of a reset. So we're going to do some serious spring cleaning. What does that mean for you? That means I still will probably do a small weekend makeup by the end of the week, but I think I'm going to be doing some declutters or collections or things of that nature. So I'm probably going to do quite a lot of filming this week. Fingers crossed. I really do love connecting with you all. I love letting you into my life. I love sharing with you, even if it's the hard stuff, because I know we all deal with hard stuff. And so it's just a hard week. It was a hard week for me. And I'm sure there were a lot of hard weeks out there for others. So I just wanted to make mention that you are all in my thoughts and you're in my prayers, and I definitely still want to create content and a platform for us to connect. So I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful week, and we will talk soon. Take care, everyone.